Often you must have seen these newspaper headlines which say, shoot at sight declared. Right? Or you'll read things like, curfew has been announced. Or prohibitory orders under 144 CRPC have been issued. Now, the question is, what are these things? Under what section of law, under what legal provision does police order a curfew or shoot at sight? Who can issue those orders? Today, we are going to discuss about the legality of these actions, and then we'll talk about some common examples that we've seen around us. So let's first start with shoot at sight. What is shoot at sight? Who can order shoot at sight? Now, this question, when I was under my IPS training, this question was posed to us in the class. And the answer is, there is no such thing as shoot at sight. Surprised? Yeah. What about curfew? If you look at the Criminal Procedure Code, again, you will not find this word curfew. So then what is curfew? Why do we keep hearing these things like curfew or prohibitory orders? So let's talk about that. Now, imagine there is some protest going on, and you expect that there'll be some procession or some group of people may collect together and there may be some rioting. In those cases, there are two options. One is, you can wait and see, okay, when those things happen, then we'll take action to stop or to arrest those people. Second option is you can say, okay, let's not wait till then. We expect a danger, or we expect that there is some group of people or some person who may cause an obstruction or who may pose a danger to somebody. So let us just stop that person from acting or take action to stop him from posing that danger. So there are legal provisions to take action in anticipation instead of waiting for the rioting or waiting for the problem to happen. And all those actions are taken under one single provision of law, which is the section 144 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Now, what is section 144 CRPC and who can take action? So at the very core of it, the simple idea is that section 144 CRPC allows an executive magistrate, which could be a district magistrate, an SDM, or anybody else whom government has empowered as an executive magistrate. So that magistrate can issue an order to any person, either an individual or to a group of individuals or to public at large. Okay? And the order can tell them, hey, listen, you cannot do a certain action. As an example, more than 5 of you cannot get together and take out a procession, or this person cannot come to this area and take this particular action. So you are issuing instruction to people or to a group of people to not do certain things. And why? Because doing those things may pose danger to an individual or to a group of people or to the society. Now, when those orders are issued, right, because we are prohibiting people from doing certain things, we can call them prohibitory orders. Now, what is curfew? There is no separate thing called curfew. It is just a name that sometimes police will use to describe their actions, and very often media channels or newspaper reports, they will talk about it. But there is no such thing as curfew separate from section 144 CRPC. Shoot at sight? Absolutely, there's nothing like that. In fact, in a civilized society, you cannot have a provision where police officers or security forces can just shoot a person just for being somewhere. It's not allowed. Right? Now, the question is, if let's say some order has been issued that, okay, you cannot take out a procession, or you cannot get together and do this activity, or you cannot indulge in violence. If somebody violates that, then what happens? Now, this is a slightly nuanced question, so I'll explain very carefully. There are two aspects to it. So one, if I tell you that, okay, you cannot take out a procession, right? And if 5 of you or 5 or 10 people get together and take out a procession against the order I have issued as an executive magistrate, right? Then those people, they have committed an offense, number one. Number two, that offense, it's a cognizable offense, which means any policeman or a police officer or even a police constable can arrest that person without any warrant from the court. Okay? And once arrested, that person has to be prosecuted under section 188 of the Indian Penal Code, which means if somebody is violating a curfew, right, that person can be arrested. Now, I'm using the word curfew as a loose term, but essentially the person is violating a prohibitory order, an order given to him or to people there not to, let's say, do certain things. And then as I said, you prosecute the person under 188 of the IPC. Now, Can you go and, let's say if somebody violates, can police go and just start beating up the person? The answer is no. Legally, you cannot do that. But if the person is indulging in violence, right, then you can take action for that specific activity. So as an example, while police cannot shoot a protester, or they cannot shoot a person at sight just for violating a 144 CRPC order, that is not possible. However, the person violating that is part of a crowd or part of a mob. If that mob is very violent, if that violence cannot be controlled by use of tear gas or lathi charge, then following proper procedure, after giving sufficient warnings, then police can take action, be it lathi charge, be it firing, whatever. Right? But those are actions taken to prevent or in response to the specific actions that those people are taking. But just by being present, just by violating 144 CRPC, the person cannot be beaten up or he cannot be shot. Right? Now, this is the legality behind this, and the reason I'm emphasizing all this is that there is not enough clarity. Right? People and newspaper reports don't give a clear picture as to what these provisions are and what happens if somebody violates that. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it, and in this video series we'll talk about other issues pertaining to law and order, to crime investigation, and to security of the society in general. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.